This is an ideal classroom. So, good morning, dear students. How are you? Okay, fine. Sit down. I am also fine. Now, dear students, please tell me, have you ever gone to Kolkata? Okay. As I think almost all of you have gone to Kolkata, and almost everyone have crossed Howrah Bridge, and almost everyone has seen the Hooghly River beneath the Howrah Bridge, and almost all of you have seen the motorboats and launches in the river, and also the tall buildings. So now today I will transport you somewhere other than Kolkata, and there is no such Howrah Bridge. There is Westminster Bridge, and the city is not Kolkata. The city is London, and the river is not Hooghly River. The river is Thames. So now already you can guess that today's topic is upon Westminster Bridge. Upon Westminster Bridge, written by William Wordsworth. If I say very little about William Wordsworth, then I have to mention must. William Wordsworth was the greatest nature poet. Who is called nature poet? One who writes poems about nature, or regarding or taking the objects of nature. So upon Westminster Bridge, William Wordsworth once crossed Westminster Bridge, and suddenly from upon the Westminster Bridge he chanced to look at the London city. And the time was the morning. William Wordsworth was simply overwhelmed, simply mesmerized watching the morning beauty of the London city. And structurally, the poem is a sonnet. Already you know what is a sonnet is. A sonnet is a poem of 14 lines with a particular rhyme scheme, and our present poem Upon Westminster Bridge is also a sonnet, and it is a Petrarchan mode of sonnets because it has clearly two parts. One is octave, another is sestet. Octave consisting of 8 lines, sestet consisting of 6 lines. So already we can say Upon Westminster Bridge is a sonnet and it is a Petrarchan or Petrarchan sonnet. So now let us see and let us read the poem Upon Westminster Bridge. Earth has not anything to show more fair. Earth has not anything to show more fair. Earth, here earth is nature. So nature has not anything to show more fair. Dull could he be of soul who could pass by. So here dull means dull, it is not foolish. Here dull is used only to indicate that one who is devoid of the sense of aesthetic beauty. So dull would he be of soul who could pass by. So dull means lack of sense of aesthetic beauty. Aesthetic beauty. Already I have read 2 lines. Once again, see those 2 lines. Earth has not anything to show more fair. Here the poet has exaggerated his feelings. Earth has not anything to show more fair. So it may be called hyperbole because the poet has exaggerated. And in the second line, dull would he be of soul who could pass by. So here is an inversion of regular grammatical order, and if we order it, he would be dull of soul who could pass by. So here is the example of hyperbole, that is the disorder of regular grammatical order. So what has got anything to show more fair? Yes, earth. Earth means here nature. Clear? So what I have said about the line, it may be called hyperbole, and it is the could it be of soul who could pass by. There is an inversion of regular grammatical order. This is hyperbaton. Clear? Next.